What is going on, my future meta millionaires? It is your boy Terry Stonkers, and welcome to my channel, baby, by the dip. All right, guys, in today's video, we're going to go over this interview that is out on Twitter, and I do have it on my Twitter account. So we're going to go watch that interview. It's about 4 minutes long, and it's with John Berta, the former CEO of Torchlight Energy. And we're going to go over from this interview, I believe it's from 2018, and we're going to see some of the points that are made in this interview, and we're going to see how that compares to today's current situation with oil and everything else. So hope you are ready for today's video. If you are, smash thumbs up, leave a comment down below, helps out the algorithm. First, I wanted to show you the oil price right here. Oil prices right now are $102 for WTI crude, and Brent crude is at $106. So what we're going to do here is go take a look at the chart. Our buddy Tony from Market News made this chart, and I'm going to deactivate my camera real quick so we can see this event. Now, this here, guys, is showing all the prices with the formula over here on the left, with the keeping at the reserves are 3.2 billion barrels of oil, and the value for oil in the ground 12%. The revenue interest 49%. There's going to be 0 on the corporate tax rate. Underwriter's fee is 10%, and we know the number of shares is 164.9 million. We just round up, say 165, makes the math easy. So with oil right now at $100, you're looking right here at about $71 is the average price. Now, even if they did this deal back when oil was, say, $80 to $90, guys, at 80 bucks, you're looking at $51, and at 90 bucks, you're looking at $61. So even if the deal was done back in early January, I think we're still looking good. All right, so let me bring this back here. Okay, so now we're going to go here over to Twitter, and I'm going to say thank you to METATERRY News for sharing this article. This is where I seen it from. And here they have a post saying, MMAT, former CEO of Torchlight, John Berta, states in a 2018 interview that the Oro Grande Basin is their main focus and refers to it as a big project and planned on selling it to big companies. Incredible interview. So this is what we're going to watch today. We're going to pause throughout it, and we're going to make some comments on it and see how it plays into what we know today with everything with our preferred share. So let's get this pulled up. Get the volume up here.
All right, back here in Los Angeles at the LD Microcap Conference. Joining us is John Brda. He's the president and CEO of Torchlight Energy Resources. John, great to talk to you. How you doing?
Oh, thank you, Steve. Thanks for having me this morning.
So tell us a little bit about Torchlight Energy.
Torchlight is a publicly traded NASDAQ company. We are an E&P company out of Plano, Texas. We have 3 primary fields that we operate in. Delaware Basin, Midland Basin, and then our big project, which is called the Oro Grande Basin. It's where most of our focus is right now. But we are a...
right there, Oro Grande, it's where most of the focus is right there. That's what we want to hear.
A company in the exploration facet of the industry, whereby we go in and look for undervalued acreage positions, and we basically do the science and do the exploratory wells, and we look to exit from those positions to a larger company, and that's what we're doing.
Right.
So right there, just at the beginning, I just want to say that I'm going to point out the key facts there he's saying. They're an exploration company. So they wanted to go get undeveloped land because undeveloped land is really affordable, to say the least, which is why we see on that income statement of Metamaterials of $75.5 million. That was for undeveloped land. We know that land has been developed. Meta has been paying for the drilling. So Meta has been paying for a lot of the drilling to get this land up to date and get it up with this lease agreement. So exciting to hear that there. And he wants to sell it to a bigger company right there. Now, this was an older interview, but that's what their plan was. That was their plan. Now, when they sold it to Meta, oil was basically almost negative, and Meta only bought it just to get listed on the NASDAQ. So there you go. It's kind of like to help each other out. I guess they just wanted to get out, and they wanted to save this for down the road. And this is the down the road time. I think we're at good prices of oil at over $100 a barrel.
In reading a bit about the company, I've noticed that you've started drilling the Oro Grande project. So tell us a little bit more about that. Seems to be your flagship.
That is certainly our flagship project for sure. We, in the past, have drilled a total of 3 exploratory wells to date. and our last one was a horizontal producer.
So there they drilled 3 wells. Now that was back in 2018. They had 3 wells.
1,000-foot lateral in the Pennsylvania formation, and we announced about 30 days ago that we are actually actively involved in drilling 3 wells right now in the Rio Grande, looking for 15 different pay zones to further prove up that acreage, again with the mindset that we're going to sell that acreage to a larger company at some time in the future.
Right. Talk a little about working in that particular area of Texas, and it's obviously known for its oil and gas. So
right.
Talk a little bit about the exploration that's going on there.
Well, in the Rio Grande Basin, we're the only ones.
Oh,
we're 30
that's
miles.
That's a benefit.
Well, yes and no. The good part of it is we don't have any competition. The bad part is services have to come from either New Mexico or from Midland. So it's
So I just want to point out here where he says that back then they were the only ones in the Rio Grande Basin, but that's good and bad because they had wherever they had to get their crew to come in to do that work, it probably cost more money to bring that crew in because they're the only ones out there. So they're taking them out there to where no one else is at. So very good to know that, you know, this is a great interview. Getting a lot of great insight from John Berta here. And as we know, guys, just real quick, John Berta still hasn't sold any of his metamaterial shares or his MMTLP shares, and neither has Greg McCabe. So right there tells you that they're pleased with what Meta is doing with this land. These are some of the biggest shareholders out there in John Berta and Greg McCabe. If they're happy, I'm sure we're going to be happy with the decision that they got going on here soon when you get this presentation coming up. So let's get back here to the interview.
a long drive and you have to pay for transportation costs. So that side of it is kind of a trade-off. But the nice thing about it is we have the entire basin, we think, that sits in the state of Texas under our control, 133,000 acres. It is when you get out there, it's remote, but our geologist, Rich Masterson, has done such a great job of proving everything up. He's been right, he's been spot on in all of his theories thus far, and he is the geologist that's credited with the Wolfbone Play in the Delaware Basin, which that acreage value right now is approaching $90,000 an acre.
Wow!
So he's a tremendous geologist.
So there he said that back then acreages were going for about 90,000 per acre. So that's an interesting fact, because there has been people talking about what if they just sold it per acre. So we don't want to go by acre, we don't want to go by the oil, but 90,000 per acre right there seems pretty good to know that. Even if it goes by acreage, 90,000 per acre at 133,000 acres, that's going to be a lot of money.
We're glad to have him on our team, and he's the gentleman who's steering our ship from an exploration standpoint currently.
Is it a case that the company's looking for partnerships? Is that something that you keep an eye out for?
Yes, we do one of two things. We'll be looking for a partner in 2019 to help us create more value and drill more wells, or at that point someone might come in and just make us an offer for our acreage that we decide to take as a company. So,
and how
one
about
of those two things.
So right there, he says that they're looking for someone to come in and help them get the drilling done. And that's what Metamaterials did. They came in and now they're helping getting the drilling done and getting this land up to where John Berta believes it probably deserves to be at. This is great information, man, because it's all making sense with this interview back here to what John Berta is saying to what's going on now, because George and the team, Metamaterials, has been doing what Berta has wanted back then, which either was to sell it outright or get the drilling up to date. And Meta's going ahead and get the drilling up to date because they've already stated that. They're putting a lot of money out there. They're paying out of their pockets to get this land up to date because they know they're going to get repaid for it in the future.
Sorry, how about funding for 2019?
2019 will either bring in a partner like we discussed earlier, or will be sold at that particular point. We don't need to raise any equity. We just raised some debt recently, about $6 million, to pay for the wells that we're drilling out there currently. We also have two positions, our Hazel project in Midland Basin and our Winkler project in the Delaware Basin that we could sell off in order to continue to fund the process ourselves. So we're currently not in the money raising business, so to speak.
Well, it's fascinating stuff. Great to meet you. Thanks for
Steve.
sharing
Thanks
your
for
story.
your time today.
Yeah, it's John Berta. He's the president and CEO of Torchlight Energy Resources here in Los Angeles at the LD Microcap Conference.
All right, so there it is. Beautiful interview there from Mr. Berta. I'll tell you guys, I'm super excited to see what's going to happen with all this when it folds out. Whether we get a payout right away, whether it comes down the road. Like I said, I'm okay if we have to wait to get our payout. I just want to know here at the end of March what's going to happen. That's what I want to know. What is the plan? It's just been so hush-hush, as we know oil is. But I just want to know what is the plan. That's all I really want to know. So if we get that information, I'll be a happy camper. We'll all be enjoying this right here. The win tendies. We're all going to be happy on that. There you go. The win tendies. So that's what we're waiting here on. When is the tendies? And then we'll be all smooth sailing from there. So I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash thumbs up, leave a comment down below. I'll catch you all in the next video, guys. Peace.